cards. Right now, you don't know. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. Stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment.
Have you seen a car crash live? People think it's all fast and loud, but in reality, there is a lull before the bang. Things appear to move in slow motion. And we saw that on Friday at the White House, when President Donald Trump clashed with Volodymyr Zelensky. If you're on the internet, you know what happened. And we will dissect it and discuss who's at fault. But first, let's tell you about what followed. After the clash at the White House, Zelensky flew to London. He met UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer there. He also attended a European summit on Ukraine. And there, Zelensky made a U-turn. He now says he is ready to return to the White House. Let me repeat that. Zelensky wants to go back to the White House. He wants to sign the minerals deal, the same one that he walked out of. Listen to this.
If we agreed that the minerals deal with US will be signed, from our side we are ready to sign. If the President of the United States of America will invite me for a constructive dialogue, for solving real problems, for serious questions and real resolute actions and answers, I will be there, out of respect for America, American people, the President, and the two parties.
So Zelensky wants a redo. Unfortunately, this is not GTA Vice City. You don't get multiple shots at the same mission. And Zelensky's mission was quite clear. This is what he had to do. Sign the minerals deal, smile for the cameras, praise Donald Trump in public, make his case in private, and then fly to London. This was his task. But as you may have seen, that's not what happened. The meeting descended into chaos. Take a look.
We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring it into this conflict.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean. And don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
After every fight comes the obvious question, who started it? In this case, the opinion is divided. Trump's critics say that the president's team was combative. In fact, a pro-Trump reporter was in the room with the leaders. Listen to what he asked Zelensky.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit, just want to see if you do you own a suit?
Yeah, you have problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such. I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like
yours.
Yes.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, criticizing a leader is one thing, but questioning his choice of clothes, that's a low blow. And what is this obsession with a suit? The Gulf monarchs do not wear a suit. Many South Asian leaders do not wear a suit. Does that disqualify them from meeting the US president? It's not the clothes that matter, it's your actions and words. So it wasn't a very friendly setting to start with. And Zelensky did not help his case. He made a bad situation worse. He let his emotions get the better of him. He put his ego above the interests of his country. Just think about it. Ukraine is just a small part of Donald Trump's agenda. If he cannot strike this deal, fine. America won't be turned upside down. But it's not the same for Ukraine. Zelensky needed Trump to keep fighting Russia. Just look at the numbers. American military aid to Ukraine is $65 billion. $65 billion. European aid is $51 billion. That's $51 billion by more than 27 European countries. So if Donald Trump leaves, it's game over for Ukraine. Europe alone cannot arm or protect Ukraine. The fact is the Europeans themselves depend on the US for security. So how can they protect someone else? Donald Trump knows this. His arrogance and his aggression came from that knowledge. Zelensky should have known it too. And he should have handled it better. After all, he is the party in need, not Trump, not Europe. It is Ukraine that needs support. And Zelensky's words and actions showed a certain lack of experience. He became president in 2019. He spent 3 years of his tenure fighting a war. Wherever he went, he was cheered. The US media compared him to Winston Churchill. But after Trump's win, the sentiment changed. The US president called him a dictator. The US media questioned his wardrobe, and US politicians asked him to resign. A seasoned leader might have weathered the storm, but Volodymyr Zelensky could not. He gave in to his ego and impulses, and we've seen other world leaders do better, handle such situations better. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer was in the White House before Zelensky. J.D. Vance attacked him too. But Starmer did not fight back. He just gave a casual clarification with a smile. Same with French President Emmanuel Macron. He visited the White House before Starmer, and he fact-checked the US president. Again, not in a combative way. He did so with a friendly tap on Trump's hand. So my point is quite simple. Words and gestures matter, especially when you deal with someone like Donald Trump. Zelensky blew it up. And now he wants another invite. After leaving the White House, he landed in London. European leaders had gathered there, hosted by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. And Starmer pitched a 4-point plan. Number 1, keep arming Ukraine, keep sanctioning Russia. Number 2, ensure Kiev is present at peace talks. Number 3, create deterrence for Ukraine after a peace deal. And number 4, build a coalition of the willing to guarantee Ukraine's security. This is what Keir Starmer has proposed. He says any deal should be backed by strength.
Any deal must be backed by strength. Every nation must contribute to that in the best way that it can, bringing different capabilities and support to the table, but all taking responsibility to act, all stepping up their own share of the burden.
The French also have a proposal. They have called for a 1-month truce in Ukraine. The fighting on the ground will continue, they say, but fighting in the air, in the sea, and around energy infrastructure will end. Paris is basically testing the waters. They want to see if Vladimir Putin will take up the offer, if he's serious about a peace deal. But forget Putin. France's own allies are unsure about it. Britain says they're yet to agree to this idea. Meanwhile, the rest of Europe is pitching in, not with proposals or weapons, but with empty words of support. Dozens of leaders have expressed solidarity with Ukraine, and Zelensky has been thanking each one of them on Twitter, or X as they call it now. You could call it the J.D. Vance effect. But words will not repel bullets. As a wartime leader, Zelensky should know that he may get respect in Europe, but Europeans cannot ensure his country's security. Their leaders have been open about that. They say the US will have to give security guarantees. The man who can do that is US President Donald Trump. But after Friday's horror show, who knows? A lot of Trump's allies are asking Zelensky to resign. They want a fresh face to reset ties. We don't know if that will happen. Either way, Friday was not a good look for Zelensky or for Trump. The only winner was Vladimir Putin.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogon, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.